Are you kidding me? That's what?
Yeah, every so often it happens that Ryan is right.
100% right. Not even a little bit right.
Tucker Pullman, 2 points last game.
No kidding.
My man!
Hey, neither does me running shirtless, but that turned out very well. Welcome to the PP1 podcast. Oh, we're back. We're back. And it's still not Ted, but you know what? That's cool. A new face, old friend, all those things. Welcome, as the intro says, to PP1 podcast on Crier Media. You can follow along on Facebook tonight. You can go on our YouTube, check it out. We're on Twitter as well, but you can't comment along on that. The Crier Media Twitch, Crier Media Facebook, and Twitter. We're like everywhere that this company can go. So feel free to comment along. We got Bmack.
Whoop whoop! Back by popular demand.
Good friend. He's been he's the next guy on the list. I've been crossing people off. And
I had to peel myself off the curling rink to come here.
Hey,
I know I was still a little bit behind, but yeah, I had to leave them. But thankfully, they won. So.
Oh, there you go. Did it end before the final end or what?
I was at the final end, and it was like, there was 3 more rocks to be thrown. So
and you're the lead.
We weren't, but we.
No, are you the lead? Like they let.
Yeah.
We don't need you to
Were
sweep.
we in the lead? I was the lead. Yeah, it's funny.
We don't need you to sweep.
We do Bell Media with like the Virgin team and a bunch of other people, AIM 1150 and whatnot.
Okay.
And I get to skip because like I've become kind of advanced. I've only started playing like since October, so I've been playing a lot with these other guys on the Thursday team. Because like Wednesdays it's like basic, like you're like most people have never even played, right?
Yeah.
And so they've let me skip because none of the actual people who know what they're doing want to skip. So I'm like, hell yeah, I'll take this on. So you kind of QBing this, and I've been winning like every game, and I'm like feeling like a champ, right? And then I go in on Thursdays, and I'm just the grunt, just the lead. Like, I mean, not just the lead. I shouldn't say that because that's a very hard position. Great. You're sweep. I had literal calluses from tonight sweeping so hard because it's like this A division, right? So I go from like the basic bitch league to
the hardest. Bring like a glove or something, like same as golf, same as baseball.
I do have gloves, but it's like they're mean. They're like, quit staring at it. Like I'm almost fucking freaking bleeding right now, but it's worth every second, and it's so much fun. And I was telling you not too long ago about how I just feel like we need to have a curling team. I feel like you're a curler. You look like one. You got the stash.
We'll get cardigans and stuff. So like my dad curled in high school. Like our family.
Yeah, mine did too.
I've known like curling's part of like my blood.
Like me too.
Yeah. So we'd be like at the rink like every Saturday. And
like, you did used to.
I was like all the time curled in, like middle school, I think a little bit of high school. So my dad, anyway, he was on the high school curling team for KSS. And so he's got this yellow, I'm talking like the cream corn yellow V-neck sweater with KSS on it. So I remember I went through like his closet. This would have been when I was in high school in grade 12. And we had like Spirit Week for the Western Canadas. And so I dug in. I'm like, oh, Dad, I'm going to wear it to school. And like, I'm talking like, we're like 1979, this sweater. And he had a t-shirt too, like a cool ringer tee. So I came in walking the hall. He's like, where did you get that? I'm like, decades ago from the past.
He might have worn these shoes. These are apparently, I bought these on Facebook Marketplace. Now, like Ashram is still a very popular brand.
His were nice.
This has wool in them.
Ooh.
It's got real leather on the ends. It's been redone for
built-in slider.
But just straight flat across. And Jock Tire down at the curling club was saying these are like 45 years old.
No kidding. They look great though.
I got relics. I thought that they were great. I just got some new ones last weekend, but up until then, these served me well.
Love it. I mean, who doesn't love curling? Exactly. Maybe don't sniff them right after you wore them tonight, but you do you. I mean, I'm not here. I don't have to smell it.
No, I didn't wear these ones. These are now going to be on display somewhere. I have these new ones, which I'm slipping all around the place. But
gotcha.
God, we gotta start a team. We can be the PP1 Curl Cast.
We'll have a better name. We gotta come up with something better.
We got time. We got
something better than branding. We'll figure out something ridiculous. I got a new hat.
How about Live Love?
Oh, live, love, hurry hard. Oh my gosh. I love it. I love it. We'll workshop some stuff. You wanted to know about the Arby's Wendy's thing, right?
Yeah,
So
because I mean,
where did we leave it last? So he had
so that
moved.
guy was back. He was back at Arby's.
He's back. Yeah. And now he just rocks like a Puma. Like he doesn't care anymore, but he looks like he
Oh,
cares because he's back. I'm sure he's
but
like
like,
casing manager.
do you think he's still starting with "It's a pleasure to meet you today"?
Dude, he's doing that.
Whatever.
He's a little bit more like real world now, I think. Like
Okay.
he's just like, this might be my job forever.
Oh, okay.
He just seems a little bit like he's
Sad.
cool. He's a cool dude.
Yeah.
But
No, I think he's the best. I'd hire him. I don't know
I
what
mean, he's
for, but
got
I'd
it.
hire him.
He's got the pep. So yeah, so he's back. I saw him the other day. Life was good. Thanks, Wendy's. Preach. So
Yeah.
we got the Wendy's, got the Arby's. This was something I wanted to get into with you, and I thought this was a great tie-in. So Nickelback. I hate to bring up your work, but this is more than work to you. This is a life passion for me.
Okay.
Nickelback was honored with the
Yeah.
Canadian Music Hall of Fame honor, which isn't quite the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame, but that's coming too. I mean, it's
the Junos. Yeah, I've watched.
the Junos, which everybody was clearly watching on whatever night it was on. I wasn't, so
I mean, it's kind of part of my job in a top 40 world, right?
Yeah,
Although it is on the competition's TV station, so we don't promote it that hard.
like it's on, but I can't
watched
do
it.
what channel it was on. So they honored Nickelback, and everybody, like we all know, we know the story. Oh, Nickelback sucks, and blah blah blah. And I will fight you to the death saying that they don't. But here's how I've looked at Nickelback. Like I will literally, that'll be a hill I will die on, and that flag will be planted down, silver side up, most likely.
I'm
And
with you.
so here's what I want to get into. So Nickelback, I'm going to relate this to hockey in a way here. So if Nickelback sucked, and a lot of people say they suck, so they have, I just looked the other day, so they get 14 million monthly listeners on Spotify. They have 6 million followers. This is just Spotify. 50 million albums sold worldwide to date. They are the 11th best-selling act of all time. Second best foreign group behind the Beatles. No big deal.
What?
So you think about that and you're like, okay, yeah, Nickelback sucks and their music's all the same. Okay, you know what? They're not for everybody, but they don't suck.
But they're for many people and majority.
They're for
in
a
that
lot of
case,
people. So if we were going to translate that to, let's say, hockey, who would be like the Nickelback of the NHL?
Oh,
So I dug
God.
a little bit deeper, and I mean, who's someone that is super talented in the NHL, but everybody hates? You should know the first name that comes to mind. Dun, dun, dun.
The first name?
Who's the first name that comes to mind? Somebody
You mean of a team or a person?
Of a person that everybody hates, but super talented.
Like from the Canucks or any
NHL.
Zibanejad?
That's not where I was gonna go. Okay, this took a turn. I was thinking I'm gonna feed you. You're wearing a Canucks jersey. Who would be someone that the
JT.
Canucks? Who?
JT Miller.
People don't hate JT Miller.
I do.
They say they hate him. You don't.
I don't hate him. I know that's a strong word.
Yeah.
So who on the Canucks is the Nickelback?
No. In the NHL, you're wearing a Canucks jersey. So who would be like an arch nemesis of the Canucks that everyone hates, but is a super talented player and is great success? All right, success.
Well, I guess are we talking like the number one guy?
Connor? Well, it's not Mark Messier. Let's not go there. But that's that. I'm sure that's what you're thinking, right?
You're not talking current?
I'm talking right now. So I'm gonna say, hear me out, Brad Marchand.
Oh yes.
So everyone in Vancouver hates him.
You
actually,
can't deny how good he is when he joins your team.
Plays for Boston.
Yeah.
He's got a Stanley Cup.
I hate him so much, though.
He's going to have 1,000 games played next. Yeah, everyone hates him. However, when he's wearing Team Canada's jersey, he'd be one of the first guys you'd want on your team right now because he still brings it.
Okay, just like a Tikkanen was, or like what was his name? Claude Lemieux.
Claude Lemieux, exactly. So next season he will,
or even a Sean Avery, and to some levels,
but not hated. Sean Avery was just more of like a pest, like in the way. Like he didn't.
Yeah, but people fucking hated him.
Do you think they hated him to the level of Marchand, though?
Yes.
You think so?
I mean, maybe not as Canucks fans because of how he used to abuse the Sedins.
Yeah, it's true.
But generally, yeah. I think
I know he wasn't like loved.
He's on that level. I think they're equal level.
Really?
Avery and Marchand. Yeah. I mean,
so let me roll this out.
Marchand's gone longer with it.
Let me roll this out for a second.
Impact that Avery had.
Yeah. Oh, I mean, he had a rule named after him.
Like he ruined Martin Brodeur. He's the fucking guy. He's been like having nightmares about him ever since.
That's true.
And in a way, like genius. Like not even until they had to change the rules for him.
They did.
You don't think that's a guy on the level of Marchand?
Okay, I'll give you that.
Right?
So let me run with this for a second.
Yeah.
So next season, Marchand will be at 1,000 games played.
Yeah.
He's so far has I don't know about tonight. He has 851 points, a quarter of those on the power play, 71 game-winning goals, and a Stanley Cup.
Oh, he's clutch. He's a clutch.
So he's got a lot to his resume, and yet a lot of people. So really, he, like I said, the Nickelback of the NHL. So it's not that you can say, oh, he sucks. In this case, he doesn't suck because, I mean, obviously he doesn't, unfortunately. But he's hated like Nickelback. But he's super talented and has the numbers to back it up.
I always say when it comes to something like the Nickelback kind of anecdote is that there's no such thing as shitty music. Like that's impossible to say because it's subjective. There is a fan. There are fans. There are tons of fans of every genre, of every band, of every song. There's always going to be fans, and who are we to say that we know more? Like even, as a music historian or whatever. Like even even like me on the top 40 stations. Like who am I to say like I know more than anyone else? And I do feel like I do.
Like Insane Clown Posse.
I do, as a music snob, I do feel like I know more about music than at most. But that said, who am I to say that I know more than, like, my tastes don't trump someone else's tastes.
There you go.
Like, my favorite band is Ween. I have a tattoo of this logo, which I used to think was the silliest thing ever, to tattoo a band, until this band made, like, me, like, I don't know, it's something about this. I'm literally going to see them. I'm going to Vegas to see them play on Saturday.
So are they, like, now, because I'm less knowledgeable, would they be, like, on the Fish kind of thing?
Yeah.
Like that idea?
Kind of.
Okay.
Yeah.
Like cult following, like, they got a lot going. Okay.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And just like get people like, what genre is it? I'm like, it's no genre. It's every genre. Like they made a Motorhead track, then they made like a gay disco song, then they made an entire country album with like Nashville session artists, and it's fucking beautiful with the silliest lyrics of all time. It's a lot of it is like really like kind of psychedelic type music, but like I've pretty much dedicated a good portion of my life to being like, yep, this is my number one.
There you go.
Look at the tattoo in one of the hardest places to get one.
That's dedication, because if you're that diehard, you're gonna put somewhere that hurts.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
That was my first and maybe last tattoo.
Yeah, I don't have any tattoos. I got a lot of hair, though.
Yeah,
I have a lot of hair on my body. That's like a life tattoo for me. So
it's abnormal.
It's a bit more than most people. But you know what? You got it. Flaunt it if you got it.
Beauty. You're a beauty.
It's sometimes. Before we get into Canucks, I got one more thing, and then we'll talk hockey. So,
did you want to do anything about Vegas too? Because I don't know what I'm doing.
We'll get into Vegas. We'll finish with Vegas because that could go forever. So I was listening to your morning show this morning, and an ad came by that I've heard a few times in the last few weeks, and it got me thinking about this Farmers Finding Love show that's going to be coming, and I thought, okay, I don't really think this makes a whole lot of sense because, first of all, farmers don't watch TV. They are on the land from dawn till dusk. They eat, they pet their dog, and they go to sleep. Probably have a beer somewhere in there. I don't really think that this show, I mean, the concept of it, sure, that sounds great. Like, oh, farmers, like, most farmers usually have a wife already. They need someone to help.
Who are you to say?
I know these things.
Farming historian?
Yes, I am a farming historian.
What they're doing at night.
So I was thinking, here's the other thing. So I didn't bother to go into all the criteria on how this works, but like it said basically, the obvious farming things that we all kind of know about, like different types of farmers. But could it be like Bitcoin farming? Could we be talking about like grass farms, like Christmas tree farms? Because those are all farms. It's like, yeah, like I just,
salmon farming.
Yeah, I just So I just
Yeah.
put the trees in. I just like put the salmon, and I just watch them and feed them. That's it. Like, oh,
It's a good question.
that's tough. Like, yeah, it's tough.
I think they're
That's
gonna just find the characters out of it, like
it's got to be
like
headhunted though, right? Like because it's farmers.
you,
Like I said, they're not watching. They're not listening to these ads. I'm sorry, they're
yeah.
not. Like they don't have as great as your station is.
I don't
I
think. See,
don't
I
think
feel
so.
like you're looking at it like traditional farmer with his fucking pickaxe or whatever.
That's right.
Pickaxe. Like
That is
I don't
farming.
think modern
Convince me
farmers aren't
otherwise.
like that. They're looking for like
Convince
the
me
young
otherwise.
kids. Okay, here's the
I
thing.
don't think
My
so.
wife,
Yeah, young
and
kids don't.
She makes me. I watch Love Island.
That's a little different.
But no, the reason why I'm bringing this up is that there's a guy on there that's a farmer, and he's like our favorite dude. His name is Will,
Okay.
and we
Okay.
won't get into. He almost ruined his relationship with Jesse, but he's hilarious, and he's a young guy, and he's a farmer, and he's like he's the most outrageous dude there. Like you just become a fan of his, and I'm like that guy would be perfect on that show. So
Maybe
they're
he'll be
not
on it.
trying to find old farmer Jim. He has that wife, like you mentioned. He doesn't
Yeah.
want to, and he's probably not watching, and he's not hearing.
Exactly.
He's not listening to Bmack and Carly.
I
99.9%.
doubt. Yeah, I doubt he's into top 40 radios. Like, how come they're not playing Skinner still? So I
But
just
to use my own medicine, how do I know? Maybe he is. Who am I
no,
to
I
say
know.
what that farmer's doing? But I think it's more like it's gonna. I bet you that show's gonna be great. We should watch it and then do
Yeah,
a
I think I almost have
commentary on
to.
Yeah.
Have you ever checked your demographics? Like, do they ever throw you guys the demographics? Like, hey, in rural Enderby, here's your listeners. It's actually up. Like 2 more people started listening. Like the hay farmers, just like, man, I love these guys so much. Like, you guys get reception out there? Come on.
It's
So
funny that there is a large range of people that listen to us, and it's like it starts from the kids, they're on
yeah,
their way to school, and we're playing the silly games and all that,
yeah.
just ridiculousness. But like, there's like every age category. It's insane how many people you're like there because our demo is supposed to be like like about earliest like 20 to like 35 40, but so you're
18
kind
to
of in the middle.
35. Yeah. Yeah.
About 30 is about in the middle.
Mhm.
And we got seniors, man. I
You're
love
just
it.
so
We reach
lovable. I think that's
so
the
many
thing. You guys
people.
are so lovable. Like, I think when you look at you guys, see what I did there? It's an inside joke.
Yeah, the you guys. Maybe we
Mhm.
can get into that later.
We'll get into that.
Yeah.
When you
Glad
when
you
you
said that.
think of like a radio team or a personality, they have to be relatable, right? They have to be relatable to the target audience. So if they weren't, you have to be relatable to kids. You have to be relatable to your teens and to your families because
Yeah.
depending on when you are being listened to, you need to make sure that you're identifying with that group. Like if you're on in the middle of the night, you're gonna have a totally different,
Yeah.
listenership, and you can identify with like, hey, do you want to call and talk about aliens? I do, and that's a different
Yeah.
demographic than the 8 a.m. So
And I've done those. I've
we
been
don't
on
talk
those
about
shows.
aliens on the morning show. So
No, I just
it's
don't
a little
have
different.
I wouldn't mind
Exactly.
doing it if I had the
Yeah.
time.
Give me an hour. Just give me 1 hour a week. That's all we're asking. That's still too much time. So, like I said, I don't know. I don't think they're going to be going online and filling out this form. That's my feeling. I feel
No.
like they're going to be headhunted for these farmers.
I agree. I think that would make sense. I've never really thought about it, but yeah, I mean, I think we need to watch it.
I think I have too much time on my hands when I'm thinking about these things. So,
I wish I had some
yeah.
of your time.
Yeah. So does my wife. She wishes she had some of the time that I've got. She's like, I don't think I've stopped working or doing something in 3 months. I'm like, you're probably right.
Mm-hmm.
In the meantime, once a week I run a podcast, so it's fun. Good. It's a good trade-off. It's a good trade-off. Great relationship. Okay, let's talk about Canucks. Now, I know you didn't watch the game because you were curling tonight.
Yeah.
Stunning
A
finish.
victory.
No, they lost.
Was it a stunning finish for the Canucks too?
It really wasn't. They
No
lost.
victory.
They got close,
Classic.
but yeah, classic Canucks. They tied Arizona by losing. So Arizona got their 2 points. Now the Coyotes and the Canucks are tied. The thing is, the worst they're going to finish, Vancouver, is I think 4th worst or so in the league.
Okay.
So their percentage from like 4 to, and I'd have to look again, from like 4 to 8 is like 3%. So anywhere in that swing isn't going to be a huge deal. I mean, they still have odds to get there, but they don't have first or second odds. I mean, I'd be thrilled if they got the second overall
So
pick.
still good for Bedard or not really?
I think
do you know the odds? Like, do you know the percentages or whatever?
they're down to, I think, like 6%. Bedard is a pipe dream at this point. So hey, that's how she goes. The Canucks made their own bed. They're gonna have to sleep. Yeah, 6%. So realistically, the best they're gonna finish is like 8.5%. That's the closest things are gonna get for them.
That's what I figured it'd be around.
It's not going to happen. So, but I mean, even if they get the second pick somehow, like Fantilli is going to be a phenomenal player. He's absolutely dominating, in his league, and he had great World Juniors. He's projected second overall pick. Still a pretty decent player to have. Now, to get to that point, they're still going to have to lose, but because the way they're playing, Demko is essentially back to his old ways. They've got Pettersson
like in a good way.
Yeah, I mean, he had an off night tonight, but didn't look terrible. He still kept them in for the most part.
How many games are left?
15, I think.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
You think Kuzmenko's going to get? I think he'll get 35.
So I've got it on there. He's on pace for 40. He scored again.
I was like, he
again tonight.
40.
Yeah.
I hope we get into it because I really wanted to talk about.
We're into it right now.
Well,
go for
it. So and you'll know more than me, but like Tocchet sat him for a game, didn't he? He was a healthy scratch. Then he put him down to like no time on the ice. It was right before he did took him down to like 6 minutes or something.
Yeah, it was low.
And then he took him out, and I never really understood what it was, and because it wasn't Kuzmenko was producing. He hasn't stopped producing.
It was an effort thing. It was a new coach saying, "Listen, even though you're doing this, like this is the effort I'm expecting." And you.
But like, what did he do wrong, or what didn't he do that deserved?
I think it was just that two-way stuff. Like I think
he wasn't playing defense.
Structure probably. I mean,
it just felt weird because it was like this guy's hot. He's consistently producing, and then it's like you're killing this kid's.
The problem was that happened. That happened when they actually were kind of losing. So now, like, he'd be crazy to sit him. But that was when things were still like doable. Oh, it was crazy anyway. It was absolutely crazy.
It just felt like it was like Boudreau already tried this. I don't even know if it was Boudreau's choice to do it. Like it could have came down from HO or whatever, but. I don't know.
Here's the memo. You're sitting.
Right. Have you got the memo?
Did you get the memo?
I was so excited.
Like, I'm Russian. I can't read this. Come on, you guys.
But yeah, I don't know. I mean, I would think Tocchet would be a fan of his. I like that he's pushing Dakota Joshua.
I love that line. Joshua.
Right?
They're great.
Why do they say Oman?
Well, it's Oman. Like Oman. Like the A is pronounced like O. I mean,
I can't get used to it.
Well, the English is there, but I mean, there is a way to pronounce it. We can't be hating on how someone's name is pronounced. Like, I don't really like it. It's not for you to like.
But I just hope because, there's the Dadanov, the Donov. There's always some guys who are saying it wrong for years.
I got Tony Granato's name wrong for the longest time. I called him Tony Granto. And I finally realized there was an A in the middle. I'm like, how do I say this stupid guy's name? And I finally figured it out. And I said it for like a day.
Why is he a stupid guy?
Yeah, I was just so dumb.
He played with Gretzky on the Kings line, didn't he?
Yeah, he did okay.
He was good.
He did all right.
Lucky Luke Robitaille on that line too.
Yeah, this isn't a Kings podcast. I'm not sure if you knew that. So
I know. I almost wore my Jerome McGinley Team Canada jersey I was wearing on the ice today.
How dare you? How dare you?
Hey, check this out, actually.
You know what?
I found a Sundin.
I'll give you props for that. And that's the right jersey to have for Sundin because that's the jersey he did the best in.
Yeah.
Even on his quick tenure there.
God,
he was the best
him and the Sundins were
going
to be like unbelievable. And they didn't even play them together much.
No, anyway. he had a better fit elsewhere, but he was their best player that year. Mm-hmm. Yeah, he did okay with the Leafs, didn't he?
Points wise,
like when he
did okay with the Leafs.
Yeah. No, in Vancouver, when he was with Vancouver, in the playoffs, I think he was their highest point producer that year that he was there.
In the playoffs, yeah. I would see that. But it was weird because he was always like second line at best. It felt. I mean, not
Yeah.
that really makes a difference these days.
They rolled too.
Like Tockett's putting like Dakota, Joshua, and
Yeah.
Oman with
That's
whoever
right.
the breeze
Took
blot
you
or
2
whatever.
times. Took you 2 times. You got it.
But yeah, I don't know. How do you feel about Tockett? Like, what do you think? Because like, it's just I was such a fan of Boudreaux.
Everybody
and you
was.
don't do that to Dad. I think we said this on the last podcast.
Mhm.
You don't treat Dad like that. And he felt like he literally looks like my dad.
I think
in a way.
it's not that. I think a lot of people agreed that he wasn't the guy that was going to do it. It was how they did it. If they were just going to let him go, it should have already happened, or however that was going to happen. Let what's his pickle, like Mike Yeo, let him run the team for the rest of the year and then make your move. There was
like,
so many better ways to do it.
It wasn't even a full year, was it? Like it was like
No.
maybe just a year. Like you don't even give this guy. And the end of that season, like they were hype.
Yeah,
So,
I think he was going in because they brought him in, and then they both had the option to agree, and he wasn't going to get re-signed until the end. Like things just started falling off. The team started falling apart. Demko got hurt, obviously.
yeah.
There are some injuries there, so yeah, it sucks. The visual of it for sure sucked.
Now,
but I think
I'm a
it was gonna
huge
happen.
fan of Rick Tocchet.
Yeah, I like
I'm a big Mario Lemieux fan. So with him and the Penguins, and I'll always remember him as a Flyer as well. But for me, it was Tocchet. Like I want a Tocchet Penguins jersey before he became a Canuck coach. Like I'm a big fan of his, and it's going to be interesting to see because when I was first introduced, it might even been you that educated me a bit about it. But
I doubt it.
When I was told that he was coming in, I thought, well, what's his success rate? And I thought, well, Arizona, and then I'm just like, fuck, this sucks. Like he's not gonna have that good track record. But I kind of indulged a little bit more. I think it was my friend Ty who was telling me that he's actually had a pretty good success rate, and he got I think it was Arizona into the playoffs once or twice.
Yeah, he's a good coach. He has been a good coach. And he brought Adam Foote in, and we all know the story with Kelowna and how that kind of soured out. But they interviewed Adam Foote a little while ago, and he kind of said like he found kind of like his spark again for like hockey. And I mean,
that was something that had died with him in Kelowna.
Maybe. Well, I mean, who knows? Like they actually had success, but it just
are both his sons still playing? Like,
yeah,
I know Cal is, but is Nolan playing in the NHL?
I think he's still in New Jersey, isn't he? I'll have to look.
I mean, how do we feel about it? I mean, you go to Rocks, you have season tickets. Like, how did you feel about Adam Foote? I had a bad taste because
it seemed good, but at the same time,
because when they kind of just tossed out the coach before that, Jason, whatever it was, and
oh yeah,
I mean, it wasn't the best success rate, but I liked that guy. Like he was a team guy.
I think there was just maybe who knows, like maybe ego or like I don't know, like those are the kind of things, especially for a junior level. Like if they're getting rid of a guy that I think clearly it was a stepping stone for him to go to the NHL.
Yeah.
So it was kind of a weird transition, though.
You think Bruce Hamilton probably got a boner having a former like a Team Canada representative, like a
I mean, both of his kids already played there though, too, right? Like they were already there. So I mean, there's a fit, and you're right. You've got a guy that clearly has a track record in the NHL. The resume speaks for itself. Yeah. Anybody knows that Adam Foote was a pretty decent hockey player in the NHL, but
for sure,
it was weird. So when he came with Vancouver, I'm like, I don't know, like he's pretty.
I know, I don't know.
Soured on him first, but it seems like it's been a good fit. I mean, I think the coaching staff in Vancouver right now is pretty decent, and I think what we need to wonder is this bump or the coaching bump. Is that going to carry over to next year? Is there going to be kind of a system in place where the buy-in is there? Like it seems like there's been a buy-in, especially with guys like JT Miller. I think you've seen a lot more out of him.
I don't despise him as much as I used to.
That's
I shouldn't say that's very strong. I shouldn't say it because I am a fan of his. But it's the
we hate the situation.
Still you got me
hate the situation, but that's not.
It just was like it didn't make sense.
Bo's fault though. Maybe there was a bit of a rift, but that's not Miller's fault.
I don't think there was ever a Horvat Miller rift, but I think that Horvat was like, "Fuck you guys! You're going to pay him the $8 million?
Oh, of course.
And you're not even going to get close to it with me, and I'm the fucking captain." And
but if you're JT Miller, you're not going to say no. I'm not going to take that deal.
Of course.
Like, screw Bo. Like,
It's
if you're gonna offer me the money
of
first, I'm gonna take
course.
it first. No
I'm just saying,
problem.
like Aquilini's, can you please sell the
Oh,
team?
don't even get started on that.
It's
That's a
gonna
whole other
sell it.
podcast.
Take Ryan Reynolds before it's too late. He secures Ottawa.
Yeah.
What's his
He
name?
just sold
Brendan.
Mint Mobile, so he's living in the cash right now.
You get Trevor Linden.
He's like, I got a Billy. I'll go buy the Canucks.
I don't know. I just
It's a tough situation. I don't want to get too much into that kind of stuff.
all right.
So let's get back into Kuzmenko. Do you think he's going to hit 40 goals before the end of the season? I think he's at 34 right now.
He's got 15 games left. I think he can. So what is he at? He's at 34?
Yeah.
He's at least like 32, 33. I don't know what he did today. Did he get anything?
He scored today.
No way. So he probably at 34 then.
Yeah, I'm just
So
going to get
I do think he'll do it.
It's like 33 goals he's at.
And what's
Oh, never mind. 34 because they're not counting tonight's game. So he's got 34.
Yeah, so 34, I betcha. So and then Petey's got to be. Is he the team leader?
Petey's on pace too. Petey's on pace for he's on pace for 40 as well.
Yeah, he's got to be mid-30s, eh?
Yeah, he's.
I mean, how's Miller doing? Because last year he was like in the top 5 or something of the whole league, or at
JT
least he
Miller.
was towards the end.
He's not having the season that he had, but
what? How is he though? He's just under a point?
Kuzmenko's at 34. Let's scroll down. Petey's at 31, and where's our good friend JT Miller? You got to scroll down a little bit to get JT Miller's name.
Justin Time Miller.
Just in time. I like that. Is he just in time?
He's. I have a few different variations of it.
Yeah, there's
Jazzy
a few.
Twizzlers.
Wow, you really have a lot of time on your hands to come up with this stuff, eh?
Oh, that's all I do.
JT Miller.
Every game, I just sit there and
62 points. So he's got 25 goals. Like, he's not having a terrible season, but he's not having I just signed a max.
How many goals?
He's got 32. Or sorry, no, I apologize.
Yeah,
he's got 25 goals, 37 assists.
And are we going to get into the captaincy here? Because
we can. You want
it's got to be Petey.
You don't think it'll be Quinn Hughes, the soft-spoken Quinn Hughes?
No, I don't know. We got into that the last time we did a podcast.
What's going on, Daniel Barry?
Nobody's excited ever. Like, even fucking Bo is like, get these guys going. Like, as much as I was like, as I always called JT Miller a liability. And disclaimer, I actually love the guy deep down. But like, at least that guy showed the passion, and you hear it every time. The smack of the stick and the fuck.
So would you want a Marcus Naslund type guy as your captain, or would you want a JT Miller type guy as your captain?
I don't want the JT Miller because he's too wild. But maybe Taka could rein him in. I don't know. Put it this way. The last little bit of seeing him and being like, okay, he's actually, maybe Taka's doing something. Like, maybe I'm more open to it. But I just feel Petey is leading that way. What's he got the most shots blocked?
What about Tyler Myers? I'm totally kidding.
Tyler Myers, if that guy would start producing points, I'd become a fan of his. Like, the guy is talented in the offensive realm, but I don't know. You know me.
Defensive liability.
He's a liability too.
No, it'll be Petey. It'll be Pettersson. We all know that. Because it's not going to be
because Petey has shown he's gone leaps and bounds. He's shown so much like strides to get to this point where it's like you are like arguably better defensively than you were offensively. Where in the beginning you kind of thought he was just going to be, like he's never going to back check. He's never going to skate. He's not going to play defense. Yeah, he's
200 few games unreal now.
And then him and Miller are just killing it on the penalty kill with points. They're at the top of the league with that. Like there's a lot of promise, but I mean I don't know. I feel like Petey's got to be the guy.
I think Pettersson will be the guy, but they're not gonna. No point in awarding a captaincy at this point in the season.
No, they won't do it till next year.
Let it go through the off season. Let all the moves happen. Then you have your rebranding.
Oh, for sure. No, they better not do it this season. That'd be ridiculous. There's no point. It needs to be more meaningful.
At the end of the season, like last home game kind of thing. Typical Canucks, like let's go out on a high note because they need to sell tickets for next season.
Yeah.
What do you think? Right before the draft too, right? So they They go and they have a new captain. Everyone's like, "Oh, this can't wait till next season. Petey's the captain now. Things are going to be better. Maybe we'll win the draft lottery." Everybody's hyped up. It's like when they brought back the skate jersey. Like it's one of those like,
Yeah.
"All right, guys, well, we don't have any other cards to play. Skate jersey. Let's make it our third."
Do you agree though that is that your guy too? Is that your choice?
Oh, it has to be.
Right.
There isn't the only other guy talent-wise is Quinn Hughes, and Quinn Hughes,
Yeah.
I mean, he gets hit in the face so many times with a puck, so he can't be your talking guy. He can't be the guy at the mic.
He looks so tired.
He is tired.
He's overworked. He's the most. I think he has the most minutes average-wise of defensemen.
And that's why he looks tired.
Right? Like he's gonna look like he's 60 years old in about 3 years.
Yeah.
Like
How
he's
old
gonna
are
be
you?
done.
He's like, "Oh, I just got my driver's license." That's not good. That's not good, Quinn.
He's gotta live.
So I'm just going. So Cale Makar leads the league in ice time per game. Believe it or not, Quinn Hughes is actually 7th by
for defensemen,
all players by 5 seconds.
No way.
So he's a minute off of Drew Doughty and almost a minute and a half from Cale Makar.
Wow.
Something to be said. But
is Makar got a big contract? Like is he
I think
he's staying with Colorado for a while?
Yeah, I think they inked him to. I can't even remember what he's making.
Yeah.
Cale Makar. Let's pretend I know.
That guy. If there was one person that I would replace Quinn Hughes with, it'd be that guy.
And I'm sure they'd make that happen. Who could we go get? Do you think Cale Makar is available? Are you crazy?
But you know what I mean, right?
Of course.
In a dream world.
Well, I mean, get Roman. Well, Roman Yossi's a little bit older though. But yeah, I mean, we have Cale Makar. Yeah, 6 years, $54 million. He's doing okay.
What is that? I can't do the math right now. That's just under 10?
So 9 schmilly.
Yeah, okay. That's got to be one of the highest in the league, eh?
He is, and when does this end?
Are there anyone?
26-27 is his final year.
Is anyone at
on
10?
Oh, yeah. There's McDavid and
Ovechkin,
players.
Maybe?
Active
Crosby?
Players. Crosby's not even up there.
Probably
I think he's still
anymore.
at his 8. He's still at his 8.7 or whatever. Here we go. So top contracts. McDavid's at 12.5. Panarin's at 11.6. Matthews 11.6.
in New York?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
There's a lot of guys ahead of him. Carey Price making a fat little 10.5. While his cap hits 10.5, his salary is 7. Patrick Kane 10.5. Now, a lot of these guys,
how does he get paid if he's not playing?
Long term. Insurance pays him.
It's almost like you shouldn't count that.
Yeah.
I mean, technically you have to, but
that's why the NHL needs to go to the NFL system. And I think we talked about this with who did I talk to this? Maybe it was Bowman a couple weeks ago. You have to reinvent whatever's going on with the salary cap. You have to go and start making guaranteed contracts so that guys can actually be cut loose, because this is getting so silly. They're finding loopholes to get these long-term injury reserve cap hits and dollar value. Looks like I'm having some problems here.
Yeah. Your audio is good.
I'm in there. They need to figure out a way to make the cap and real dollars work again, because it's so stupid. So a guy like Connor McDavid or a guy like Dakota Joshua.
And what's Draisaitl making?
He's up there too. Let's see.
Is he in the 10? And that's why that team has Nurse has got to be up there too.
Nurse is up there. Where's Draisaitl?
He's got to be there.
No, I think they signed him on a real. Oh wait. Oh shoot. They signed him on a really friendly deal. It's high, but
in the 8, 9s.
Where is it here? I just saw.
I mean, it's not like McDavid. I mean, he'll always be
8.5.
Wow. And you said McDavid's 12.5?
Yeah. Can you imagine having Leon Draisaitl at 8-5? You have JT Miller next
Yeah,
year.
exactly. Yeah, exactly.
Not fair.
No.
Not fair.
Life isn't fair.
Like, what would you rather have for that amount of money? I'll tell you what I'd rather have. Not JT Miller at that point. Like, I'd rather have the guy that won the Art Ross on the Hard a little while ago. And the thing is with Edmonton, they're still not good enough. They're not going to go all the way.
I know.
They're
And
not.
it's like, and I hate to say, well, I don't hate to say it because fuck Edmonton, but like wasting talent.
Mhm.
You know, like it's not gonna be, and it's because you have to sign them. It's like they're fucked if they do, and they're fucked if they don't. You know,
Mhm.
like you got to give him the money, or he's gonna leave. But then now you can't build a team around it.
The problem is they're gonna run out of their free passes because I think they're playing on borrowed time with those two guys. At some
Like
point,
you think they're gonna mark? Like, yeah. So
at
what do you think
some
gonna happen?
point, you have to look and think, okay, if I'm Connor McDavid or Leon Draisaitl,
Yeah.
yes,
It's not looking like I'm ever gonna like lift Lord Stanley at this point if I stay
I'm
in.
still gonna get paid by whichever team is the
Yeah.
first one to offer me that contract or where I'd like to live. Like, if you had an opportunity to play anywhere, you just go and sign, like, all right, well, wherever I can sign that's going to win a Stanley Cup, they're going to pay me just as much as the team that is not going to win the Stanley Cup. So I might as well go there. And it's the
He's
same.
gonna go to
it's gonna be-
Florida. He's gonna go way south.
He doesn't even have to go to Florida. He can go somewhere where they're almost ready to win. Like, you look at even with the Leafs. I think this is the Leafs here. They're in a way better position than Edmonton is.
Mhm.
They are either going to have to go all the way this year. At the very least, they're going to have to make the conference finals. Or they're going to have to start thinking about the same thing because they've got Tavares and they've got Marner and they've got Nylander and they've got Matthews.
Yeah.
And then you've got Morgan Riley. Like, they've got so many high
And
contracts.
how's their goalie situation?
It's not great.
Yeah.
But
What,
I think they can outscore their problems as long as they don't play Boston or Tampa, which is still going to happen anyway. If they can get past whichever of those teams they're going to play in the first round, yeah, I like the Leafs' chances. I really do. But it's a put up or shut up kind of year. And for Edmonton, as great as they're going to be in the regular season as far as point production goes and scoring, they're not built the way they should be built for the playoffs. They're going to get run by Colorado or maybe who else?
and then get like blown out. Another sweep.
They're just not one of those teams. So
isn't that what happened last year? Colorado swept them.
I can't remember
because they beat Calgary and then they went to the semis.
Yeah. So they're just not ready to. They've always had the same problem. So I don't know.
We're talking way too much about the Oilers.
We are actually, and I feel bad. So we talked about it a little bit. The tank is over. I think we can all go back to our regular lives. We're going to get another top 10 pick in Vancouver this season. Hopefully it's, in the mids, like a 5 or a 6, because then we can pick away at some talent. So
what do you think they're going to focus on? Like, do you have?
Well, I would hope a defenseman.
And
but we've seen a lot. Pardon me?
To pair with
Well, it won't be someone. They're not going to have a usable talent this year unless they're in the top 2.
Yeah.
I don't think you can bring in someone that, even a guy like, I hate bringing it up, but Ted, if you're listening and watching, a guy like Andrew Crystal, he's a great player, but there's no way that you could put him in as a winger. There's no way you could put him in this lineup right now. You wouldn't have to. You wouldn't need to. You could go after. I mean, you could get what's his pickle, the defenseman, out of college there, or not college. Sorry, NHL draft rankings. You can see a plan for this stuff, right? You can go after defensemen, which I think is what they should be doing regardless. But
but like to be a top 2, like to play with Canucks or to be on another line.
If you're
to be the OEL that OEL was supposed to be.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like,
and now that's what they have with Hronek, right? So who's the first defenseman off the board here? There's Reinbacher out of the Swiss League, and then who's the other guy that we were talking about a little while ago here? Axel Sendin Peleka from Sweden. He's kind of the guy that I could see the Canucks going after, but that's already
like, and you're thinking like a point producer. Like, that's the point behind.
Well, you're going to need a puck. You're going to need a puck moving defenseman, and you're going to need a point producer. But for some of those guys, like, you're already mid. You'd be reaching if you're in the top 10. So I don't know. What if you're the Canucks? What would you be doing?
I don't know. Like
You've
that's
got
the
a
thing. It's
5th
like,
to 8th pick. What would you be going after if you're getting to run the team this season after
oh
the year?
God, because it's like Demko feels like a liability. So I don't know if there's any all-star defensemen or like superstar potentials. I don't know. I
But
don't
you're not
know.
going to see any of those guys come in. Whoever they draft isn't going into the lineup next season
For
unless it's
sure.
Connor Bedard or Fantilli. That's it.
Yeah.
There
Right.
there just isn't another player. Those are your 2 studs.
I don't know.
I mean, as I say that, I'm sure someone's gonna be like, "Actually."
I feel like I'm like
Actually,
literally like part of the Canucks
or
organization.
Mitchkov, sorry,
I
the
don't know.
winger from Russia, Mitchkov. He would be the other guy.
Okay. Yeah, I really have no good opinion on that at this point because like I'm still going through the Horvat emotions.
You're still on it. It's over, man. It's
I
over.
know.
He's moved on. He's out in Long Island. We don't even get his
I know.
highlights anymore.
I know.
It's
I
done.
know.
You gotta get
And
over that.
let's before we get out of this one with Beauvillier. I mean, it was pretty cool for the first month or so when he was like
He scored
producing.
tonight.
Did he?
Yeah.
And is he
So
on the Kuzmenko Patterson line?
yeah.
Because like, what do you think about this line?
He's been okay. He hasn't been amazing, but I
Better than
mean,
I thought he'd be.
and I think what do they say? 16 games that he's played. I think or 14 games he's played. He's got 16 points. I think 9 and 7 or
Yeah.
7 and 9. So
I'm not saying he's gonna be our top dude or
we need a guy to
close.
produce. We need a winger to produce, and they have to have someone on that line, and he's producing on that
Yeah.
line. I think, say whatever you want to say, he's doing the things that they need someone to do on that line.
Yeah.
That's it. Cut and dry.
It's a good line.
I mean, they're getting production out of they moved away their captain and their not top center, but they moved away a point producing guy, and now you've got a guy that gets in on playmaking abilities, and he's on a line where the other 2 clearly can do all the work, but he seems to be kind of that net front presence guy. So he's helping things.
Yeah.
I don't want to use the word Bertuzzi, but kind of
I
that,
know.
like a very
Yeah.
very like Bertuzzi 0.25.
Yeah.
And he's just standing in the way there and making stuff happen. And he knows how to find Kuzmenko on the other wing. He's not a bad fit. I didn't know a whole lot about him, but we're sure seeing a lot.
I didn't either. I knew nothing about him. I didn't even know
He's
his
a
name.
player, though.
He looks pumped. Like he looks happy, and he looks like he's like, I'm gonna
'Cause he got a
prove that I'm the
chance.
player that I should have been, and that
because he got a
people.
chance.
Yeah.
And that's what I was
But he
wondering.
also was
Like,
playing with the 2 top offensive guys. Arguably on the Canucks. So you're
so
gonna
you've
produce.
got a guy that was supposed to produce coming out of the draft, right? Developed, and now he's at a position where he's kind of been given the golden ticket, and he's actually doing something with it. How many times have we seen guys come on that top line and like, well, we're going to give this guy a chance, or like Goldobin or Tannen or whoever, or even Podkolzin for a little bit, or Höglander,
even
Garland, exactly.
Yeah.
So there's guys that have been given those opportunities and have done nothing with it.
Yeah.
And he's been on there, and he's been
doing. Yeah. I mean, it's still early days, as they say on Love Island. But I feel happy with what he's doing. He's definitely in the top 6 range. Obviously, if you're going to keep playing with Kuzmenko,
he's top 6 on this team anyway, which doesn't say a whole lot. But like I said, he's producing. He's producing. So what's not to like? I think beggars can't be choosers right now.
So speaking of producers, if they, and I don't know if it's a set line, but Miller's usually playing with Besser right now, and usually Garland or whoever the flavor of that game is. How has Besser been doing? Like, is he gone? Like, is he still? He's not going to be a part of this organization.
I think they're going to try to move him in the off season. I think the relationship so far is they're going to play it out for this season anyway, and try to find a fit in the off season. And if not, you just ride out that contract. I mean,
how do you feel about him? The way he's produced, the way even including going back even a year or 2 ago about how. Every season you keep waiting for him to do it, and then this season feels a bit of a fizzle and fade. But I haven't followed them as well as I'd like to. So, even in the last few weeks or a month or so, how do you feel about Besser?
I think Brock Besser has been lately, anyway, snake bitten. He's been given chances.
What does that mean?
It means that he's getting his shots off. He had basically an open, was it a breakaway? Not like a half breakaway, and like wired it off the post or just shot wide.
Oh, yeah.
He's getting his opportunities still, and he's just not scoring, which is tough because he's a goal scorer. That is his job, is to score goals. He's not necessarily a playmaking guy. He's a finisher, and he's just been snake bitten. And I think, and there was an article that was written about him a little while, I think by Ian McIntyre. He's still, whether I think he wants to believe it or not, and I saw this in my daughter this a couple weeks ago at provincials. I think there's still like some mental there that is affecting his game. Like his dad passed away, and I think even though he says that he's moved, and he maybe has, and I'm totally speculating, but I do wonder if like there's still something there that's he's thinking about it. You know, like the really good athletes, the really good players that they don't think, they just do, and things just keep happening. When you start thinking about even your job kind of thing, like if you just go on your muscle memory, usually your job's a lot easier because you're just doing what you know instead of like thinking like we were speaking of my daughter. So she's in grade 6 this year. And she was doing got home from practice tonight, had some math homework. And
From
she's
hockey or what is she
no
playing?
speed skating.
Oh, right. I saw that on social media.
So she's doing her math homework, and she's like, "Dad, I'm so tired. What's 6 times 8?" Like, or like, "What's 9 times 8?" I looked, I'm like, "Are you kidding me?" She's like, I know. I'm like, it's 48. Or she's saying like it's 56. I'm like, it's not 56. And like she's brilliant, like she's super, super smart. And she's like, I'm watching her, I'm
He's
like, you need to go to bed.
Exhausted. Yeah, she's
Oh
got
yeah.
burnout
Like,
at that moment.
yeah, she's just sitting there. I'm like, you are like asking questions
She's
and like
sleep talking.
just stupid. I'm like, you need to go to bed. So I'm like, I'm gonna help you finish this so you can leave because clearly you're fading out.
Yeah.
So anyway, it's interesting to see because you know that muscle memory can take you so far, and then when you start thinking about stuff, and I think with Brock Besser, I still think he's thinking about stuff. I do
you
think
think that he misses his big brother, Bo?
well, I think even
You know,
that.
like that was probably his leader, right? Is
They
his
could have
big
kept.
bro.
No, I think they could have
You don't
kept him, and
think?
he was still going to keep producing the way he's been producing this season.
Yeah, well,
He
the way
hasn't
he's
had a great season.
producing, because he's not producing the way that we
No,
expect him to. That level of he's teetering on a top 6. You know, like you could
if
put
he
him in
wasn't,
third.
if you were to go and sign Brock Besser tomorrow on free agency, like where does he slot in on a team, and how much do you think he's actually making? Like he's probably
Yeah.
you're probably making $4 to $5 million because of the potential and what they believe they can get out of this guy, and
Yeah.
reinvent him or get the spark back. But
Yeah.
I mean, he's had a tough go, and this whole
Yeah.
contract, he's actually had a tough go so far, which is fairly new. But he's been after that rookie season, I think, and injuries did not help his cause, but he's had a tough go in the NHL so far.
I know.
And maybe he's just one
I'm
of those
still
snake
cheering
bitten
for
players.
him.
Oh yeah, he's
I
still
don't
my
expect what I was expecting. I got to take a quick pee break.
Are you really? Okay.
I do. Is that okay? Because you said if I had to
I
run, you
mean,
had something to talk about.
we're live, so you do whatever you want to do.
Okay.
Go for it.
Check out these shoes. I literally came in the house from
Go for
curling
it.
and haven't had a bathroom break.
Just go for it. He's gonna
I'm
be
so sorry.
he's gonna be like 5 minutes
No,
likely.
I'll be literally less than 2.
So I'm gonna get into these questions while he's gone. So I had a few questions that I was gonna ask Bmack regarding the NHL soundtracks, and I did ask one of these on Pucks on Net. They only got one question involved, and I was a little bit upset that there's only one question, let alone that it didn't even get answered properly. So what I'm gonna try to do, I've got about 10 questions, but I think I'm only gonna ask like, I don't know, like 3 or 4 and see where he's at. Because I mean, BMac, he works on the radio. He says he's a music historian. He's played the NHL games. But I do wonder, like, are some of these too tough? And am I just like too much of like a Riddler, if you will? I I don't know if that's necessarily the truth, but I would like to think that one of these questions, let's say I'm gonna ask him 4, and if we go like 50%, I think I've done my job as the question asker. Is that something? What do you guys think? Who's still out there watching the show? I've still got Daniel Barry's. Oh, look, he does like a nosedive. You got a little bit of pee.
in.
You got a little bit of pee.
64 seconds.
You got a little bit of pee on your bed accidentally. So I got a couple questions. Yeah, I got a few music questions. We'll get into your Vegas, and then we're out of here. So you ready for this?
I just wanted to explain how I peed so quickly. I was a nightclub DJ for many years, and you ain't got a lot of time between songs, buddy.
It's got like a little Joey in a cup or something like that.
I should have had a little 2-liter in there. Anyways, fire away.
So NHL, these are EA Sports NHL soundtrack questions. I'm going to ask the same one that I asked on Pucks and Net. I'm going to give you 4 questions. Okay? And hopefully you can get these. So you got to tell me what the song is, and we'll go from there. So question 1. Don't be startled by this song, but it also shares its namesake with a popular 2000s daytime talk show host. Don't be startled by this song, but it also shares its namesake with a popular 2000s daytime talk show host. He says he's a music historian.
I'm not a musician.
Music historian.
I didn't say that either.
You did. I'm pretty sure you said that.
I said I'm not one.
Oh, okay.
Give me a hint.
The daytime talk show host is a woman.
Okay.
Don't be startled by this song. The band has 3 letters. You can bow out, and that's okay too.
Yeah, I'm out.
The song is "Oh Ellen" by Gob.
Oh, Gob. Great Canadian punk
There
pop.
you go.
Okay.
So here's another one.
I don't like the way this is going.
Yeah, neither do I. So I'm trying to figure out which one. Okay, question number 2. You could say I'm not exactly pulling for this song. Think about that for a second. Pulling for this song as my favorite. You likely can file it under trash.
Why are we doing this?
Because I mean, like, why would you end the show this way? This is terrible. You could say that I'm not exactly pulling for this song. Maybe the opposite.
Like, where is this quote from? Like, what are you reading right now?
These aren't quotes. These are questions. You're trying to figure out the song.
You made these questions up?
That's right.
Okay, one more time.
You could say I'm not exactly pulling for this song as my favorite. You likely can file it under trash. There's a double hint there.
Pulling. What is the significance of saying pulling? So am I just trying to guess the band or the song or both?
You got to guess the song, but if you get the band, you'll get the song.
Pulling. I don't know. All I think about is...
Think about trash for a second, and that might
Okay. Oh, garbage. Okay.
Yes.
So that's
okay, and what's the song? Pulling. What would be the opposite?
Pushing?
Push it by Garbage.
Ooh.
I have a feeling I'm like super deep on these.
I know.
Okay.
And I'm a big Shiny Tunes kind of guy, so I should know these.
So here's one. Maybe I don't even know. You might get it. It's the French song. That's the clue.
Okay, and this is on
EA Sports, NHL. It's the French song, even though it's not a French song.
Mm-hmm. Je parle le français.
There's actually no French words in the song, but the place in the song is French.
Okay, so
just a second. Someone's calling. Who's calling? Oh, Montreal's calling by mobile or mobile. Have you heard that one? This is getting tough. Okay,
the song's called Montreal's Calling?
Yeah.
And it's by mobile? No,
Yeah.
I don't even know if I know that.
Man, some DJ. I'm not hiring you. Jeez.
Well, who would want to hear these songs at a fucking
Hey
event?
Bmack. Hey Bmack, can you play? I'm like all of the NHL EA Sports soundtracks. Like I don't even know any of the songs. I couldn't even begin to start. You're the worst.
Like somebody needs to get this guy out of here.
Yeah.
I can't deal with him.
This one you have to get. We'll finish on this one.
Oh, God.
Okay.
Why are we doing these?
Because I said. Because it's our show. I can do whatever I want. Okay. Is it a power play in this, mother? You've got to be joking. Come on. This should be the easiest question. Think of this is it. Now, this is actually a Canucks song. Is it a power play in here? You've got to be joking. I'm assuming you've seen a Canucks game on TV and heard the music in the background.
Sorry, buddy.
Literally the power play song for the Canucks. And I think even the Rockets now.
It's not.
Joker and the Thief by Wolfmother.
Oh, is it? Yeah.
Yeah. Jeez. Okay, well, this went horribly wrong. Horribly wrong.
I know.
Tough crowd. That's fine. I mean, you're gonna,
I'm sure it was still entertaining.
Good thing for you. You're not on the radio tomorrow. I'm gonna call and be like, "Hey, can you play the song?" Like
these questions again.
Yeah,
in my entire life.
Yeah,
I don't think anyone else will ever in the world be asked those specific questions like that again.
So those good questions are hard questions. Did I work?
Yeah.
Maybe you should have been listening to the songs. If don't you like when you play game like
give me a heads up. I literally had no prep given to me.
That's the best part. That's the best part.
But then so you throw me into the Wolves. Well, don't make fun of me now as I don't know what the fuck we're doing.
Okay. This song is number 6 on the current.
How come we're not playing it? Oh, because we probably can't. Copyright.
This song by Rihanna is about owing someone money.
Ask me a Rihanna song or a Lady Gaga. I got you.
Oh man, that's fine.
Funny.
You're
I probably love all those songs too that you said.
They're good songs. They are good songs.
I saw Wolfmother play in Australia.
Oh really?
Yeah, in their motherland.
I would love to see them play. They look like they'd be a good show.
They were a good time.
So we're gonna finish. You're heading to Vegas.
First time.
That'll be all right. Where are you staying?
At Planet Hollywood.
Oh, that's cool. You're gonna get one of those Moon Man trophy things that they've got there.
What, do you get those there?
I don't know. They had one at our table the last time I was there. It was kind of cool.
Oh, really?
I don't know.
Like at the restaurant?
I think so. Yeah. If they probably just don't give those out, I would assume.
I have no idea. I've never been.
How long are you going for?
So we initially thought we were there tomorrow night, and it turns out that the trip is Friday night to Vancouver, and then we leave for Vegas on Saturday. So thankfully we have friends out there, so it should be fine. But
okay.
So I guess it's actually only 3 nights because it's Saturday, Sunday, Monday. Yeah, and then we're back on Tuesday. So
you're gonna be broke. You're gonna be picking some shifts up at the radio.
I hear I missed out completely. Like I used to hear nothing but Vegas is so cheap. You can get a flight for $190 and then you don't pay anything and yada yada. And it's like that's all gone. That's like a fucking memory, and I'll never get to experience what cheap Vegas was like.
Yeah, it's over. That's over.
I hear everything is $100. People are like, yeah, you see 2 drinks, $100. I'm like, how could that be?
Yeah, Starbucks. Your Starbucks order.
You want to buy that's cool at a store? $100.
Yeah, don't order Starbucks.
True? So how many times have you been?
I have been 1, 2, 4 times, I think.
Did you do Topgolf?
No, I've been there for work, so I didn't get to bring clubs. But I hear
they'll provide shitty ones for you. I went to the Scottsdale one.
Okay.
It's ridiculous because I believe like my whole life I've wanted to do Topgolf. And then I what happens right before I head to my buddy's stag in Scottsdale, break my hand in 2 places, broke my scaphoid, and then my whatever, it was like a box.
So are you trying to blame that on why you're bad at curling?
No, I'm good at curling.
Oh, wow.
I'm out there. I'm like, I'm still hitting them, and so I'm trying to put this, my left hand.
You're bruised.
Okay, I'm good to go.
Oh,
some of them.
They're just watching. Look at this guy. He's from Canada. Let's just leave him
painful.
That's terrible. Well, if you get a chance, I mean, I'm sure Topgolf's pretty awesome.
Well, I won't be doing it this time because I'm just going with my wife and she's not into
Yeah.
it. But I'd love to do that kind of thing. Like I want to go back. So we're just gonna kind of experience our first time. That's one of the coolest things. We haven't really planned anything, so we're just gonna go see this show.
Go see the fountains at the
Ween.
Bellagio.
It's at a bowling alley, so that sounds cool.
There
It's
you
like
go.
right- yeah, so it's right next to where we're staying, and then we're just gonna kind of keep it open. Like I'd love to go to the Comedy Store or see like a stand up of some type, and maybe a Cirque show or something. But that we don't plan anything, so that we
Yeah.
can just do whatever we want, and that's the
good.
plan. Is
It
no
might
plan.
cost you. That might
What?
cost you. Just
What?
not planning anything.
What do you mean?
Just because you're just going to spend money like, oh, we need to do this, and let's just take a cab here, and let's just the next. Make sure you utilize like the trams and stuff. You want to utilize all that stuff.
Oh yeah,
Oh yeah,
you did that.
yeah. You got it. Well, we weren't at the Planet Hollywood side. We were like Park MGM and all that by like.
Yeah, I don't know what that means.
So you'll know.
That's both on the Strip though. Both of those areas.
Oh man, I can't.
Or are they
remember.
not on the Strip?
I can't remember.
My wife planned it. It was a surprise for Christmas. My mother-in-law, she was like, "Have fun at Ween in Vegas," and I'm like, "I don't even know what you're talking about."
What are you talking about? Who's Ween?
Never been to Vegas. Oh, Ween! This will be the 10th time I've seen them. The last time I saw them play, I saw them break up on stage at Queen Elizabeth in Vancouver.
No kidding.
And I was just there like a month ago seeing Sarah Silverman do her stand-up, and I'm like, that's where I sat when I watched my favorite band like die on stage.
So here we go. So M&M's. Okay, so you're like, yeah, you're just you're on the Strip there, a little bit down, but that's okay. Oh, never mind. You're right across from Bellagio. Yeah, you're right there.
Oh, is it?
You'd think I'd remember where Planet Hollywood is, but yeah, you're right in the.
Whatever.
Right
There's
in
a
the mix.
ton of stuff to see.
You're right in the mix. You're gonna have a blast. It'll be a good
I can't
time.
wait. Yeah, I cannot wait.
And make sure, like I said, it's expensive, so be careful.
That sucks. Like I missed out on that portion of.
I was supposed to go this year, and it was too expensive for work again. We always go in January there's a big show for flooring, and we looked, and it was like triple of what it cost the last time we went.
Yeah,
and that's a lot. That's a lot. So, needless to say, we're not going. So I'm here with you.
I know this is a little off topic, but picked this bad boy up when I was at the Mariners official store in Seattle.
You know, you can still buy those in Canada for less.
I bet, but not for.
I gotta get a Yankee cap from Yankee Stadium. You really don't. You can buy that everywhere, and it's a lot. I said it
was the official Seattle Mariners official store.
Yeah, well, they rubbed dirt on it and everything. It was awesome. Bmack, Brian, thanks for coming by. Appreciate it.
It was a pleasure. I wish we could do this more often.
We'll have to figure something out.
48-hour heads up notice.
I gave you a heads up last week, and then I just told you it was 48 hours.
Yeah, exactly. Come on, we got to do this more often, so I'm more prepared. I
Ah,
won't be on the curling rink next time. So.
It's a lot more fun to spitball it, to wing it.
Spontaneity is basically I've made a career out of it. So I'll go continue this madness. I guess it won't be tomorrow morning because I'll be off. But off to Vegas. So we're back. I actually totally fucked up my days off too. I didn't even actually book tomorrow off.
Oh,
one of my bosses was like, "Hey, it looks like you have the entire week booked off next week." I'm like, I said I was back Wednesday, so now I'm going to come back Thursday and do a Thursday, Friday. It was a short week, but I'm off tomorrow now. So.
Hey, spring break. Nobody's going to care.
Yeah, exactly.
No one's in their cars on spring break except the people working, so it's fine.
Thank you for having me. I'll do it anytime that I can, buddy.
This has been great.
Do you think Teddy won't be back for a bit here, or what are you thinking?
I have no idea.
I mean, I guess you don't know. Yeah,
I have no idea. He said he'll be back. I've threatened him with a few things. So
good. Let me know if you want to rock next week or anytime in the next few weeks or so.
Absolutely, man.
I'd love to come back on.
On the list.
Love this stuff.
You're on the list.
Fire Media. PP1 podcast going to take the podcast of the year for Best of Kelowna. I hear.
Yeah, well, we're fifth. So.
Were you fifth?
Yeah, we were fifth behind like some butts
That's
and
pretty good, dude.
Like that. So I mean, out of 7. So
Yeah, but I mean, it's
a tough market. It's a tough market for podcasts in Kelowna that you didn't know.
Surprised it was only 7.
Well, it's because the lawyers, they get a lot of listens. So Apparently, entertainment isn't entertaining. So
Yeah, that sucks.
we're gonna have to threaten somebody with something. So
anyway, so did I tell you how I went to New York to get a New York?
on behalf of Bmack and Ryan, this is the PP1 podcast on Crier Media. Please download our show. We need it.